Legendary Footsteps, the life and legacy of Confucius. In the flickering twilight, the air thickened with the scent of incense and burnt offerings, mingling with the earthy aroma of damp soil. A gentle breeze swept over the funeral pyre, carrying with it the bitter smell of smoldering wood. The mourners gathered in silence, their faces a mix of grief and respect, shadows dancing across their features in the dim light. An aged scroll rested on an ornate table, the characters inked in dark strokes, representing wisdom and knowledge that the world would soon lose. At the center of the gathering, Confucius lay on his deathbed, the weight of his years pressing down upon him. The soft rustle of silk robes brushed past as disciples whispered words of admiration, their voices hushed but fervent. "You taught us that virtue is the foundation of society," one young follower murmured, a note of desperation creeping in. "What will we do without you?" As the last light of day slipped beneath the horizon, the cacophony of sobs and muffled cries filled the air. Confucius, his voice frail yet resolute, murmured, "The path I have traveled is not the end. It is merely a step along the road of wisdom." His eyes, clouded yet penetrating, seemed to pierce through the veil of time, foreseeing the tumultuous journey his teachings would endure. With a final breath, the silence enveloped the crowd, palpable and heavy. Time itself seemed to stop, and the faint sound of distant chimes echoed as if summoned by the weight of his passing. In that moment, the legacy of Confucius solidified, setting the stage for a philosophy that would reshape a civilization. To fully grasp the depth of Confucius's teachings, one must first delve into the world that shaped him. Born in 551 BCE in the state of Lu, the air was tinged with the spicy scent of wild herbs and the warm embrace of the sun just past dawn. Confucius's family was of modest means, his father a military officer who had died when Confucius was just 3 years old. The weight of loss hung heavy in the air like a thick fog, a specter that would linger throughout his life. The sounds of laughter from other children playing in the fields contrasted sharply with the loneliness that enveloped the young Confucius. The rough texture of the grass beneath his fingers reminded him of home's harsh realities. "Why do we not have rice like them?" he once asked his mother, tears welling in his eyes. She, her voice quivering but firm, replied, "True wealth lies not in what we have, but in who we become." Those words struck him like a bolt, igniting a flicker of resilience in his heart. However, the sharp pain of poverty and social stigma would haunt him. The uncertainty of his future burrowed deep into his psyche, shaping his later teachings on virtue, respect, and the importance of moral grounding in society. The years passed, and Confucius transitioned into adulthood, but life offered no solace. With dreams as lofty as the mountains surrounding him, he pursued a career in government, only to face repeated rejection. Each time he received notice of his failure, the chill of disappointment stung his heart like a winter wind. On one particularly frigid night, he stepped outside, the crisp air biting at his skin, desperate for clarity. The moon hung high, its glow illuminating the desolate surroundings, casting shadows that danced ominously around him. "Am I destined for nothing?" he lamented, his voice barely more than a whisper, swallowed by the silence of the night. In that moment of despair, a stray dog approached him, wagging its tail, hungry yet loyal. Confucius, feeling the rough fur against his hand, was reminded of the bond between living beings. The warmth of the creature's existence ignited something within him. "If I can inspire even one creature to trust, then my journey is worthwhile," he declared, determination flooding back into his veins. That night, he resolved to devote himself to the pursuit of knowledge and ethics, believing that true power lay in moral fortitude rather than political success. Confucius's turning point emerged not from the halls of government, but from the hearts of the people. He began gathering disciples, creating a haven for those eager to learn the principles of morality and virtue. His method was revolutionary. Rather than demanding obedience, he engaged students in dialogue, enabling them to explore concepts through discussion and reflection. In one of the dimly lit classrooms, filled with the aroma of tea and parchment, he spoke with fervor. "To know what is right and not do it is the worst cowardice," he proclaimed, his voice firm, resonating off the stone walls. But a true leader must cultivate virtue within, for the strength of a nation lies not in its warriors, but in its benevolence. Confucius introduced the concept of ren, often translated as humaneness or benevolence, and emphasized that it could be achieved through education and self-cultivation. He developed a curriculum that blended history, poetry, and moral philosophy, encouraging his students to examine their personal ethics and place within society. As his influence spread, he employed strategic methods to gain the trust of influential rulers. He would visit courts not to demand positions of authority, but to offer advice, utilizing the power of moral persuasion. "When a leader is virtuous, the entire realm flourishes," he asserted during one audience, his hands gesturing passionately. "A ruler must be like the North Star, a steadfast guide for those lost in the chaos. Through tactical humility and a commitment to service, Confucius cultivated a network of disciples who spread his teachings far and wide, solidifying his role as a revered figure despite initial setbacks. The crescendo of Confucius's life came during a turbulent period in Chinese history, known as the Spring and Autumn period. The landscape was marked by strife. The sounds of clashing armies filled the air, punctuated by the cries of the wounded and the metallic clinks of weapons. One day, as Confucius traveled to the state of Wei to seek support for his ideals, a pivotal confrontation awaited him. The weather shifted. A harsh wind blew through the valley, carrying the scent of rain and impending conflict. As the sky darkened, he approached the gates of the city, flanked by his loyal disciples. "Confucius, you dare preach virtue in a world ruled by might?" A general scoffed, his armor gleaming ominously in the fading light. The crowd gathered, curiosity mingling with hostility. With a steady gaze, Confucius stood tall, the damp air swirling around him. "You wield power like a weapon, but strength without virtue is like a river without water, unstable and prone to destruction," he replied, his voice unwavering, echoing with conviction. The tension in the air thickened, hearts pounding with the weight of expectation. As raindrops began to fall, splashing against the cobblestones, Confucius pointed to the people watching. A true leader cares for the well-being of his people. Rulers must understand that when they nurture their citizens, loyalty will flourish. The general snorted, unimpressed. The onlookers, however, murmured in contemplative tones as the rain began to intensify, creating a rhythmic drumming on the earth. His words resonated. For the first time, they felt the gravity of moral leadership seep into their bones. Confucius's philosophy challenged the very foundation of power, seizing the hearts of those who dared to dream of a better society. The rain fell harder, washing away the remnants of doubt, and in that moment, a shift began, a collective awakening to the importance of ethics and governance. Despite his growing influence, Confucius faced betrayal from unexpected quarters. The tides of political favor shifted rapidly, and those he once considered allies turned against him, hungry for power and control. The scent of treachery lingered in the air, thick and acrid. During a quiet evening, as he sat with his closest disciples, the door burst open. A former ally, Chen, stormed in, anger radiating from him like heat off smoldering coals. "Your teachings have sown discord among the rulers. They see you as a threat," he spat, his voice a harsh whip. Confucius, his demeanor calm despite the chaos around him, replied, "Change is often met with resistance, but to retreat from one's principles is a betrayal of the soul." The pain in his heart mirrored the tension in the room, a palpable cloud that suffocated their hopes. "What do you expect?" Chen retorted, bitterness cracking his tone. "You preach virtue as if it can shield us from the world's brutality." The betrayal stung deeper than any blade, yet Confucius understood that not all would appreciate the seeds of wisdom he had sown. Despite losing his prominence and facing exile, his teachings continued to resonate among those who believed in the transformative power of education and ethics. In the twilight of his life, Confucius reflected on human nature, standing under the vast expanse of a star-studded sky. The air cooled against his skin, a gentle reminder of life's impermanence. "Human nature is like water," he mused softly, almost to himself. "It may take the shape of its vessel, but it seeks to flow toward virtue." His philosophy of Ren and moral governance transcended his lifetime, embedding itself in the very fabric of Chinese society for millennia. The smell of incense, once associated with mourning, transformed into a symbol of reverence for the teachings he left behind. As he parted from the world, Confucius did not merely fade into history. He ignited a legacy that would challenge and inspire future generations. The air hummed with the whispers of his ideals, echoing through time, reminding humanity of the importance of virtue, respect, and enlightenment. In a world often marred by conflict and chaos, his message remained a beacon of hope, a call to nurture a harmonious society where morality guided governance, creating an enduring foundation for the generations to come. This biography of Confucius captures the essence of his life, struggles, and the monumental impact of his teachings. Each section delves into detail, evoking sensory imagery and emotion, allowing the audience to connect with a historical figure.